local link so it'll be the NTA, I guess, that like it comes up all the time with us, like, you know, and I don't want to get into specific routes, about extending routes or connecting routes in local link. Like you said, Mr. Greenan, that, you know, the 33% increase in the amount of people using it, which is fantastic. But so I've written to the Department of Transport wondering whose responsibility is it to do with the local authorities, or is it to do with the NTA or the department? Whose responsibility is to get a new route or to connect a route? There seems to be a bit of like, kind of, I just want clarity, like, because I got a letter back about trying to get a bus stop or a new route extended, and it says that these are matters for the NTA in conjunction with the local authority sector and relevant public transport companies. So I suppose I'm guessing that it would be cheaper to connect a route, an existing route, rather than set up a route. Or what's the criteria? Like, we have people coming to us all the time about this, and we've set up petitions. We don't know what to do. We don't know which is the way to use it. We've done door-to-door petitions. So I'm just wondering, is it to do with the local authorities, or is it the NTA, or is it the Department of Transport? Thank you.
So just to be clear, it is the NTA who plans the local link services in consultation with other parties, and if the funding is available and we think it's an appropriate service, it then becomes us who contracts the service in some way and gets it delivered. So I don't think we're passing the buck anywhere else. We're saying we're the ones that are responsible for planning the transport service. And
what's the criteria? What is the criteria to get, a connecting link? And I suppose it's local people on the ground, they know better than anyone else. Is it connecting a link, or is it to get a new link? Like, what's the kind of criteria to get a new route, I mean?
It really is specific to the circumstances that apply in a particular case. In some cases, we can extend a route or amend a route to serve a particular area. In other cases, it needs a new route to avoid other issues occurring. So it is there's no singular answer. It's very much case specific.
How do we do it, though, as a representative of a local area, that there's a huge demand for, there's this M5 or F63, the 981, we get this all the time, that there's people are coming to say, we know if they're there, we'll use it, or we know, and that there is no service there at the moment. Like, how do we, I just don't know what to do as a representative, how to kind of move it forward.
Well, the way to move it forward is simply contact us with the proposal. We'll review the proposal, and if we think it's workable within the parameters we have, we will go back to you and say that. On the other hand, if we think the cost of that service versus the level of patronage isn't sufficient, if we think that service is duplicating with a commercial services operated by some of the commercial operators, and a variety of other reasons, we may not be able to do it. But every single request gets considered, and we try and we do have to implement transport on a planned basis. We do try and review each area and identify what changes, amendments are required. But it's not a case that we can just put a service in. No,
I know, and do the communities, and often this is grassroots led, it's communities coming together about this, and there's public meetings held about it. Should they put together a business plan, or how, like, is there any kind of checklist or any kind of form, or is there anything that would make it easier for communities to say, right, this is the evidence that there's a bus needed, this is the population in the area, this is, that...
We do have a plan published on our website, it's a Connecting Ireland plan, and we're not against making tweaks to it and changes to it, but that's fundamentally the plan that's been developed to address rural transport needs across Ireland. If there's a particular case where you think we've got something wrong and something should be changed, it doesn't require a business case to be developed. What it requires is somebody setting out what is the proposal, what level of support and usage. There'll be plenty of support there, but what level of likely usage do we think? We can't put in a service for just one person doing one journey a day. So if we get that kind of information, we can then respond and say, we've either looked at this and we still think the Connecting Ireland plan is right and we don't think we should amend it, or alternatively, if we think, yeah, there's something here we could do something on, we'll come back to you and say so. The caveat then after that is, we might like to do something, but until we're sure we have the funding available to do it, we won't be able to guarantee it to you.
So I go back to groups and say that it's lobbying, really, then, isn't it?
No. Well, obviously, people will lobby their politicians all the time, but for us, it's not.
To be able to do something.
For us, it's not lobbying. It's somebody putting forward a proposal, asking us genuinely what they want and setting out the reasons, and then allowing us to digest that, assess it, and come back with an informed answer to say, we think it's a good idea, we'll do it, or equally, we don't think this should be done, and here's the reasons why, and we're sorry on this occasion we're not able to do it. It'll be one of those answers.
would it be worth having local representatives coming down and meeting people? Like, I know someone from the TFI met a group recently in Sligo about connecting a route. It was just on the Leitrim-Sligo border and they actually came, there was someone locally came down and said, well, that this is I suppose the more people that are involved in it, the more, is it evidence-based? Like, you have to look at the population in the area, the projected population growth, or?
It has to be evidence-based. It can't be just an aspiration. Ultimately, we have to run these services on a value-for-money basis. There has to be a level of usage there. The new service can't discommode the existing passengers, because equally we get lots of requests in to divert a pretty straightforward route that has a lot of usage on it, divert it up 2 or 3 kilometres offline. And we know if we do that, fine, we'll get some passengers there, but we'll lose a lot of passengers on the straight through route because the journey has suddenly become a whole lot longer. So it's facts it's facts about what people are looking for, why they think it's needed, and some idea of the level of usage that they think they might get.
So it's up to us there to bring that information forward then, to yourselves and the community, working with communities to bring forward that information.
Correct. But I would say the starting point is to look at the Connecting Ireland plan, because there's a logic to what's there, and people need to look at that first. Because when you disentangle one route and say, I want to change it to this, you may actually affect 5 other routes all around it. So just bear that in mind when people.
No, that's perfect. And can I ask also just about the local link? I suppose a few people have contacted me about this as well, saying that they used to be able to flag down their bus. They used to be able to just, wave it down. Is that gone now? Is that policy gone?
There are approved bus stops on every local link route. Those stops have to be approved by a local authority in which the service is operating. It's not our responsibility to approve those from a safety point of view. So in relation to demand responsive transport, particularly smart demand responsive transport, that's different. They don't operate in a fixed route, and you can book them and they can effectively run from A to B and vary their route and stop at any safe location the driver considers it safe to stop at. But it's only those routes, only smart demand responsive routes where that can happen. Other than those, for a fixed route scheduled service, then every stop on that route must be approved by a local authority from a safety point of view.
Okay, thank you.